Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Saturday, December 7th, the day of infamy. I'm Michael Taylor, and we won't be too infamous here today, but remember Pearl Harbor Day when you were a kid growing up in school? December 7th was always the marking of that, and that day of infamy, so I remember that from my history classes and when I was a kid. We won't be that infamous today, I promise you that. So on today's show, we got a good one for you actually. At Lutheran Church of the Cross with Pastor Paul Finley and Pastor Richard Peterson. They're going to be here talking about all the Advent services they're having, the Christmas services they're having, some luncheons, one special event for people who are grieving this time of year after loss for Christmas too, so you might want to stay tuned for that as well. So they're going to be talking about that. And then Village String Band Bree's going to be interviewing those folks, Marcella Lawson and Stan Levin. They're going to perform. They're going to be talking about their upcoming show, so that should be a fun one, some great music in that one, so stay tuned for that as well. Right now, we want to keep you informed, and we've got a good one. It's an important one. We got the tree lighting tonight over at the Clubhouse 1. Should be a fun one. It's also a toy drive, so make sure you do bring in an unwrapped children's gift, new, to donate to needy children. It is going to be tonight from 5 to 6:30 over at Clubhouse 1. Bring that gift. They're going to light the tree. There's going to be hot cocoa and cookies available as well, and so hope you guys get out there and enjoy the kickoff to the holiday season here in the village. Should be a lot of fun. Let's check our weather, and we got some nice temperatures for the tree lighting. You'll need a jacket probably tonight. It gets cool pretty fast, but it should be nice as the sun goes down over for the tree lighting, 74 degrees. Then we get cooler for the rest of the week, high 60s, low 70s as we head close to winter. Winter's coming, December 20th or something like that? So looking forward to that as well as we enjoy our California winter, really. Let's take a look at our sunrise and our sunset while we're at it. And sunrise this morning was 6:42. Sunset tonight is going to be 4:42, just in time for the tree lighting ceremony. Thank you, Cole Young, for sending us this picture from Rancho Santa Margarita. Look at that, a couple Christmas lights already up and that sunset shot. If you have Christmas lights, Christmas tree, pets, places you've been, you want to send us a picture, please do so. We'd love to see that. Email us, lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Make sure you include your name and where you took the picture, and we will put it in our sunrise sunset segment. Okay, when we come back, I'll be talking to both pastors from Lutheran Church of the Cross about their holiday schedule. Stay with us.
Village Television presents Friday Films, only on Village Television. Fridays at 2 and 6 p.m. Foreign films, dramas, and comedies. Award-winning films, romance and mystery. Independent films. Every Friday, only on Village Television.
The Christmas celebration is on, and the countdown is on as well over at Lutheran Church of the Cross. With more, we welcome Pastor Richard Peterson, and we welcome Pastor Paul Finley to our program. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Michael. Glad to be here.
You guys are doing your Advent, and you're having some testimonials. You're doing some things online and Facebook. For people who don't know, I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, my Advent calendar." Yeah, that's the thing where the chocolates come in. Exactly. What do we mean when we're talking about Advent as we count down to the birth of Christ?
Well, this time of the year, in everywhere you go, in malls, on the car radio, you're hearing all about Christmas. But in the church calendar, we talk about Advent as the season of 4 weeks leading up to Christmas, and then Christmas extends for 12 days after December 25th. So the word Advent means to prepare, and we're of course preparing in our homes, cleaning, cooking, baking, decorating. But at church, we want to talk about preparing spiritually, and so we offer many resources to people to help them deal with the busyness, the stress, the hecticness, and the over-commercialization of the holiday in the secular world. We have a daily Advent devotional that we're putting out on YouTube and our church Facebook page to just kind of cut through the noise and find the peace of the season. Jesus is called the Prince of Peace, and the celebration of his birth ought to be more about celebrating peace than buying things. So we want to give people a little gift every day, not unlike opening up doors in an Advent calendar, but just a little click that you can watch or listen to.
No, it's terrific. Pastor Peterson, do you get the sense that some people kind of take on the Christmas holiday as a lot of pressure instead of maybe celebrating what it's supposed to be about? Like, oh, I need to get the credit. And they put all this pressure on themselves to make a holiday fantastic, but forget maybe the meaning behind the holiday?
It sure is. They sure do. They are so concerned about what they're going to do for the season that they don't really recognize what the season is all about. And when we think about Christmas, we think about Christmas coming, Advent, Christmas coming. Sometimes we ignore this idea that not only are we thinking about Jesus coming as the babe in Bethlehem, but also we think about his coming again, when he will come again in the clouds, and every eye will see him, and everybody will recognize that Jesus is Lord of all. And so Advent is also about that. So sometimes our Bible readings for Christmas or for the season are about Jesus coming again. We think, how does that fit in? Fits in perfectly. Jesus is coming again to be the Savior of the world.
Yeah. And when we think of gift giving during Christmas, kind of the original is the gift of Christ and the gift of those things, and that can you imagine not opening a gift that was given to you? And so I think I've often heard that's one of the messages of the gift of Christ is there for everyone to open and have in their hearts, right?
Right. Yeah, it's unfortunate when a gift goes unopened, but another gift that we as a church have to share with the village is coming up this Sunday, December 8th, in our morning worship services. We have 2 services on Sunday morning at 8:30 and 10:30. And this Sunday, we have our annual choral Advent music service. Our choir is going to be performing 5 or 6 anthems throughout the whole service. We have handbells and many favorite Christmas carols that the congregation will be singing along. And we like to think of it as a gift to the community that we can experience together. And so many people who don't attend church weekly may choose to come out for Christmas Eve. That's a big event of the year that people will come out to. But consider checking out our Choral Advent service this Sunday as an extra gift this Advent season.
Yeah, and for folks who have trouble with mobility or getting around, you guys are also going to be online with that at lcotc.org, so people can check that out and hear the music and welcome and pipe it right into their home if they can't make it out.
Absolutely. We have dozens of church members that are not able to come out of their homes. And their lifeline to their faith is through watching our online services. You can go there today and check out previous services. It's archived going back years of worship services, but this Sunday in particular will be a special one.
And also this Sunday in particular at 3 p.m., you guys are doing your Blue Christmas service. And this is one of those times to remember that not everybody is celebrating or in a celebratory mood this time of year because of the loss they've maybe suffered in the past or maybe even just this year.
Yes. Pastor Richard was inspired with this idea, and that's because he leads our Grief Share ministry.
We have our Grief Share ministry that we do 13-week sessions of Grief Share for people who are grieving. And sometimes we think of those who have just lost a loved one or just lost a friend. But it's for anybody that's lost a person and is still grieving. Because people can grieve many years after after the person has died. In fact, sometimes people don't deal with their grief. They weren't allowed to grieve, or they wouldn't allow themselves to grieve. It's very important that we grieve, and the Blue Christmas is one of these things that can help us grieve. Sometimes people have said to me, since I've lost my wife or my friend, Christmas just doesn't have the same meaning for me. When they say, when somebody says to me, sometimes they say, not everybody says this, Merry Christmas is a phrase that I kind of don't like anymore because they're joyful and I'm sad. And Christmas and the seasons that we celebrate are particularly difficult for them. So our Blue Christmas service is for those who are grieving. Maybe it'll be a little more subdued. Maybe we'll have a little different emphasis on Christmas. The Bible readings maybe will be about the suffering of Christ, and things like that. So.
No, and I, you know, unfortunately, I relate to that. My wife passed back in 2015, and it was close to the Christmas season.
gosh.
And so when people were saying Merry Christmas to me, I just wanted them to be quiet.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and it took a lot for our family to kind of grieve through that process and do that. So I think we always have to remember that not everybody is in that celebratory spirit or that
Exactly.
place.
Not
and
everybody wants
and the
to
fact that they
celebrate.
have a place there in the church is so important. How important is that? Have you had people come up and you say thank you for recognizing that we're not all celebrating right now?
There are people, we have our grief share, which is a group that meets, a group of from 5 to 15. We don't get the same kind of group every time. We're going to start a new grief share session starting the 7th of January. It's going to be at 12:30 in the afternoon. We're starting at 12:30 so we can have a daytime session. The last session was an evening session. And people that meet together are so happy to have a place where they can talk about their loved one. And they can talk to people who, it's a safe place for them to talk about their loved one who's died, or their friend who's died, their child who has died. People come from, they have all kinds of different things they're grieving for. And so we give them a safe place to talk about that, and they need to talk about that. The healing comes to us when we share our grief, and they can't share their grief just any place.
Right. There's a good community place for that here.
You need a place for it, and so we invite people to sign up for a grief share. They can go to the grief share website and register, or they can just come, or they could register at our church office. That's going to start January 7th at 12:30 in the afternoon.
Fantastic. You guys have a Christmas luncheon coming up on Tuesday, December 10th. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, our Christmas lunch is actually a continuation of our regular every Tuesday lunch that we offer for the community. We call it Senior Day Out. Now, we're not going to turn away anyone. In fact, they welcome me, and I'm not quite yet at that senior threshold. But Senior Day Out, of course, is...
It'll soon come. It'll soon come.
Oh, thanks,
Comes
Pastor.
for us all.
You hope it'll come. You hope it'll come, right?
Yes, it's coming sooner than we think. But we know how important fellowship is, especially for the residents of the village, because statistically, many people are living alone, and without a reason to get out of the house, we can, in our isolation, it can breed loneliness and despair. So on any Tuesday, we hope that you would come out to Lutheran Church of the Cross for our Senior Day Out lunch. And this is the primary program of the Lutheran Heritage Club. That is why we're here today. Yeah. And but for our Christmas luncheon, we go above and beyond.
It's a bountiful feast.
It's a bountiful feast. It is a Christmas home-cooked meal, and we've decorated the space. It looks fantastic. And last year we had about 150 people for our Christmas luncheon, so we're hoping for about the same. And the cost is $10, and we do ask if you RSVP. You can pay at the door, but if you at least contact the church today, you can see on the screen our email and phone number.
There we go.
To get an RSVP, so we can have an estimated head count.
Sounds
and then
good.
we'd love to see you.
I want to run through this one. We'll get one more slide up. Christmas Eve candlelight worship services 4, 6, and 10 p.m. Christmas Day services 10 a.m. Those are the big ones. We don't need a lot of advertising for that one. And I want to thank Pastor Paul and Pastor Richard for coming in today.
It's always our joy to be here.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you so much, and Merry Christmas to both.
Merry Christmas to you.
You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.
Attention Laguna Woods homeowners. Upgrade your bathroom with luxury bath designs of Orange County and enjoy up to $4,000 off or 20% savings, whichever is greater. We bring everything right to your door: fixtures, faucets, flooring, walls, and more. No hassle, no stress. Our expert team will design a space that's beautiful, comfortable, and safe. Call now or visit luxurybathdesigns.com to schedule your consultation. Luxury, comfort, and peace of mind, just one call away.
Mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll. Mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll. When evening comes around and you time to go to town, where do you go? To rock and roll.
The old folks say that you got it day by 10.
same old excuse for you know you're gonna lose and never win. I'll say it again, and it's all because your mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll. Your mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll. When evening rolls around and it's time to go to town, ready to go.
All right,
Rock and roll.
folks, from the Village String Band. That was amazing. Stan Levin and Marcella Lawson, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What
Thanks
an
for having me.
intro. You had me going there.
Yay.
That was so
That's
fun.
what we like to get people moving and dancing. and
Well,
stuff.
you know what? There's going to be a next step. I'm standing up. That's great. I love it. And your voices are beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank
My
you.
goodness. You are having a fall concert.
We
That
are.
is coming up soon, and everybody needs more of that.
Of
That was
course.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'm just
absolutely.
going to jump right into the details. It's going to be held Tuesday, December 10th at Clubhouse 5.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're expecting the show to go from an hour and a half to 2 hours. So encouraging people to bring their own food and drinks. $10 at the door for
Yes.
anybody. So you don't have to be a member.
Oh, no. Everyone.
Everyone.
Everyone's welcome.
Okay.
Open to everybody that can get into Laguna Woods.
Wonderful. And is it going to be holiday based or just,
No.
do you have any type of theme?
No.
It's a variety of music, but it will not be a holiday show. It'll be country western, rock and roll. There'll be Beatles, the Rolling Stones.
Oh, the sorts of genres.
There's a couple of members to this club that write their own music, so they do a couple of songs and some novelty stuff. So a lot of country songs. So it's quite a mixture.
Wow. So the club's been in existence since 1996 that we know of, correct?
That's
so.
what I understand.
What's the history behind the club? Do you know?
I think here it's been called a number of different things. Right now it's the Laguna Woods Village String Band, and it's both a club, official club here, when the class is not in session, but the class is an official Saddleback Emeritus class. So you have to be registered during the 2 semesters, but when school is not in session, so to speak, we come and still get together, and it's just a jam once a week.
How many members are in the club?
Right now we've got 29, which is a big group. It's a lot of people to manage.
I was
but
going to
it's
say,
a lot of fun.
how do you manage all of those?
Yeah.
Because
It's a pretty fun format. Everybody can bring a song. Anybody can bring a song that they want to do, and then it's all about collaborating with one another to make it something that really works for the band. So you might have something where really it's featuring a lot of harmonies vocally, or it might be a song where there's a lot of instrumental breaks where people play, like we'll have a steel guitar who plays a break, or a harmonica who plays a break, or something like that. And what I think is fun, like for example, Stan was saying we have people who write their own material. Maybe they've never had a band play their material before.
Oh, what a great
You know,
opportunity.
they've only ever done it themselves. It's like, how can I make this work in a band? And then see, what works for everybody. Or somebody brings something and someone will say, hey, some harmonies might work really well here. So that's collaboration, I think, is really fun.
I love that. So you don't actually branch out in your different genres. Everybody comes together for either country western or pop or classical or whatever is
Yeah.
whatever
Right, it's not just
the band
one
decides.
person necessarily singing a song, although that happens too, but you might have 3 or 4 people get up as a little combo and do a number. So it's, and then everybody, the rest of the group is playing accompaniment to that.
Wow. So when somebody brings their own song that maybe has never been played, they just finished writing it, how do you go about determining who's going to play what? That seems like a big undertaking.
So there's lots of guitars, lots of acoustic guitars, and then some ukuleles, and then there's some electric guitars and a bass and a steel guitar and a violin, and we even have some accordions now, mandolins, things like that. So everybody's playing what works for them. But I think what happens is, well, is it a good idea to have a solo somewhere? and what would be a good solo. We also have a keyboardist and a drummer, of course, which really, bring the whole thing together.
Right.
And it's just a matter of, we start to listen to it and people throw out ideas and you just experiment.
Sounds like a lot of
But
fun.
the way we select the songs is each person can bring a song, 2, 3 songs, and try them. And everybody kind of comments. We have an instructor who not so much instructs as leads, but he'll, if something's not working and not ready for prime time, then that one will be postponed maybe until the next semester.
Okay. So in terms of the concert that's coming up in December, how long do you prepare for an event like that?
All semester and really before, like people started throwing out new songs in the summer. Like Stan was saying, we meet when the Saddleback class isn't in session to just test things out. So some of the things in this concert we've been working on since the summer. And some of them just got tossed out, at the beginning of the semester, but pretty much for the whole semester. That's what we do.
I've actually been amazed at some of our performers, who write their own songs. Some of them sound professional, and you think, oh, I know that song, and no, it's something new that they wrote and quite catchy
Interesting.
occasionally.
So the members, does it range from beginner,
I was just going to
intermediate,
mention that,
advanced?
that we have a lot of variety, and there some people who are just kind of hang back and just like to play background and just be there, and lots of people who play in other ensembles of different sorts and are quite masters on their instruments or vocally. So it's quite a range, I would say, but a lot of really strong musicians and a lot of really
We have
strong singers.
some really good professional musicians with a lot of experience, and then some people that are beginners. So
that's
if you're a
great.
beginner, you might never have played
Right.
with another person before, and it can be very challenging keeping time, because now you can't just do your own time.
Oh.
You have to be right on. So it's a great learning spot for everybody, and the professionals enjoy it too. And
Is there any criteria to join the club? Do you have to have any, or can you walk in and say, I have no experience playing anything?
You could, but you probably wouldn't survive. But there's no criteria in the sense that if you want to do it and you have some competency on your instrument, then that's fine. Like if you can keep up with changing the chords. I mean that, right? Pretty much.
Well, yeah. If you have to be able to play the chords.
Yeah.
So if you just learned maybe 6 or 10 ukulele chords, you could come in. But just knowing the chords is not enough. You have to be able to keep time when you're playing them. Yeah. So it's good if you had a little experience just playing on your own, but there's really no limit or requirements, because the only requirement is that you're able to get in through Saddleback, and the class fills up pretty quick.
Yeah.
We're at capacity now.
You are at capacity.
Yes.
And the club meets...
but everybody asks that each semester you have to sign in again.
Yeah,
so
it's hurry up like, okay, it's time to sign up, go, or you're gonna...
Race to got to get in the class. Yeah.
Marcella, how long have you been with the club?
I was trying to think back on that. I think it's been about 3 years for me. Yeah.
And what about you, Stan?
About the same, 3 or 4
About
years.
same.
Yeah.
And so you both have musical backgrounds.
I do. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's great.
I've played in little groups. I had my own group here in Laguna Woods called the Village Folk for a while, and all the members of that group are now in the string band. But
yeah, I was going to say a lot of the members also play in other ensembles, or certainly have in the past. And like I'm in an international folk dance band as well. I do vocal and guitar and flute and a little percussion in that. So, and lots of people have other.
There's quite an
groups that they
active
play
music scene in the village, not just the village string band, but there's jam sessions. There's the All Musicians Club that has
Yes.
jam sessions.
We've got Broadway Musical Club. We've got all sorts of very talented
So
people
if you like to
here.
play and sing and do that, you can do it. I'm also in the Theater Guild and sing and play there too.
Well, it keeps your mind young and sharp.
Yeah.
And
doesn't
it's
it?
fun.
And it's fun. And you
It's
meet a
fun.
lot of people.
Yeah, yeah,
great.
and I was going to make another pitch for the people who would like to come to the concert, that the concerts are a lot of fun.
Yes.
And we definitely make space on the floor for dancing, and we
Oh,
hope
fun.
people will come up and and dance to our songs. You know,
Okay.
I know I saw you snapping your fingers while
Yep.
you were dancing. We want to see people not just tapping their toes, but get out and
shake
show their
shake a
moves.
leg. Oh,
There'll be a
right.
couple hundred, normally we get about a couple hundred people there, and they have a good time dancing and drinking and partying. And whatnot.
Fantastic. Okay, folks, you heard it. Fall concert Tuesday, December 10th at Clubhouse 5. Starts at 5:30 with Village String Band.
Yes.
Stan and Marcella, thank you so much. I think you're going to serenade us on out of here, right?
Okay, thanks
You're
for having
watching
us.
This Day on Village TV.
Mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll. Mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll.
When evening rolls around and it's time to go to town,
where do you go?
to rock and roll. The old folks say that
You gotta end your day by 10.
if you're
Out on a date and you bring it home late, it's a sin.
there's just no excuse, and you know you're gonna lose and never win. I say it again.
It's all because
Your mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll. Your mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll. The evening rolls around and it's time to go to town. Where you go? Where you go? Where do you go? To rock and roll. Where do you go? To rock and roll. Where do you go?
All right, show's almost over. As you enjoy your Saturday, I'm still here at the desk, as always, on a Saturday. But we got a great movie for you for today, later today, after you're done maybe with some Christmas shopping or whatever it might be. Infamous, starring Daniel Craig and Sandra Bullock. It's brought to us by RadNet. It's going to be on at 2 p.m. with the subtitles, 6 p.m. without the subtitles. While researching his novel In Cold Blood, Truman Capote develops a close relationship with convicted murderers Dick Hickok and Perry Smith. It is a tense docudrama, and hopefully you will enjoy that one. Let's take a quick check on our weather before we head out. And we got a pretty nice day today. The tree lighting ceremony is going to be tonight, folks. Get out there at Clubhouse 1. 74 degrees is going to be our high today. Then we go into the 60s for the next few days, and then the low 70s. So pretty nice temperatures as we head into the second week of December. So enjoy those while we can. Monday on the program, Advanced Ear Care. Stuart Spencer is going to be here, and the folks from Polly's Pie are here talking about their great pies, their seasonal pies, and some of their great meals, and how you can order a whole meal for your own house if you want to do it instead of that holiday cooking. Polly's Pie's got you covered. All right, we'll talk about that more on Monday. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. I'm Michael Taylor. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.
Thank you.